So zigzag stripes in the dove grey. I've done it, and this is a corker for texture. This is going to be the one that's going to be in the middle of the blanket, and people are going to trace their fingers down it when it's on their lap, because it really does feel the difference in texture between that one and that one is really nice. It wasn't particularly hard. It's just a question of concentrating, which, as I said in the last video, I'm getting a little bit better at. How long it will last, I don't know. It depends how much wine I've got on the go, really, and which part of the day I'm doing my knitting. But anyway, so that's not too tricky, and it knits up really quickly and is a very pleasing textural one for our blankets. Now, I started on another project. I gave my blanket to my mum for her 70th. Typically, her response was, "Oh, a blanket." And then I explained that it was for sitting in a deck chair covering her knees so she could look up at the stars, and adding that touch of romanticism as to why I'd knitted it seemed to sell it to her. So she was quite pleased with that. And anyway, I got back, and then suddenly, because of how large that project had been, suddenly every other little project seems like I'm rushing through it really quickly, which is actually quite a nice thing. I actually think doing a really big project at this point in our knitting career helps us to get a bit of a sense of perspective when we're doing our squares and little projects. So I decided to go and have a look at this cable tote bag, which I think was in about issue 46 or something. It's my friend's 40th next week, and I wanted to get her something, or make her something for her birthday. Problem was, the yarn that they use in the actual in the template is a little bit too expensive, and so I was unsure as to what to do. And I went online to try and find the wool, because we don't have a particularly good wool shop here. And I found this amazing website called yarnsub.com. Which basically you type in the wool that you've got, and then it will give you lots of alternatives and price them up so you know how much money you're spending. So anyway, I've decided to go for this colour, and it's pretty much the same as the felted tweed that they ask you to do, but it's just slightly cheaper, and at the moment, it being February, I can't really afford a load of stuff. So anyway, this is the front of the bag so far, and I have to say I'm quite pleased with it. It's not too difficult. It's only 68 stitches across. There's a gaping hole there, but nothing that a bit of cotton and a thread won't fix. There are some gaping mistakes. For example, the moss stitch down here hasn't really worked. But what I am really pleased about is this plaited effect, and the fact that my double moss stitch, I've really seemed to crack that, because I seem to I understand now what I've got to do. So I will hopefully have finished one side of it by the end of today, and then on the other side I'm not going to do another one. I'm going to actually do double moss stitch on the back, and then I've just ordered some really nice needle cord in a beige with a little tiny rose on it to put inside, and some webbing for the handles. So hopefully that should all arrive in the post quite soon. And I'm really looking forward to giving it to her. I hope she likes it. It's a sort of a magazine bag size, and I know she likes reading books and what have you, so fingers crossed she's going to like that. I'm now turning my attention to making something for me, because I've made lots of stuff for other people, but never anything for me. And in the art of knitting, I have spotted a really nice cardigan, which I've just ordered the wool for, and I'm going to get going on that in the next few weeks. So that's a big project. In fact, it's a mega big project, and it's been quite expensive to buy the wool again. So we shall see how that goes, but I'll let you know how I've got on with that. But yes, have a good week. Zigzag square's not too bad. Show us your project, show us what you're getting on with, because it's just really nice to see that there are other people out there. We're a year into this now, so we've been around for a whole year with the art of knitting, and so it's time to celebrate where we've got to.